In this visual brain teaser, you can see three glasses on the left that are full and three on the right that are empty. You can only move one glass to make a row of alternately full and empty glasses. Which one do you move? This is an interesting brain teaser, requires out of box thinking. Feel free to pause the video and give it a try before checking the solution. Let me explain the solution now. For convenience sake, let's name the glasses A, B, C, D, E, F. A, B, C, D, E, F are six glasses. A, B, C are full and D, E, F are empty. They are placed in a row. The important point here is in the brain teaser, it is mentioned that you can only move one glass, but there are no rules mentioned on the restrictions on operations that can be performed on that glass. So, what we can do is we have to move the full glass B and to pour total juice or water of it from glass B to the glass E. Then put the empty glass B in its own position. After performing this activity, B glass is empty and E glass is full. Now the row will be like this: A is full, B is empty, C is full, D is empty, E is full, F is empty. Thus, by moving only one glass, we can make a row of alternately full and empty glasses. There are four prisoners. All four prisoners will be freed if at least one of them correctly guesses the color of the hat on his head. They can't speak to each other and they can't touch each other. However, if they take part and one of them gives a wrong answer, or none of them can work out the answer at all, then their sentences will be doubled. They are told that there are four hats, two white and two black. Each man will have a hat placed on his head while blindfolded. When each man is wearing a hat, the blindfolds will be removed. The prisoners will not be able to see their own hats, and the only way they can work out what color hat they are wearing will be from looking at the hats the other prisoners are wearing. All they have to do to win their freedom is for one of them to work out what color hat he is wearing. But there is a twist. To make it more interesting, three prisoners stand in a line facing a brick wall. The prisoner at the back, say A, stands on a box and can see both of the prisoners in front of him, say B and C. Prisoner B stands on a smaller box and can only see prisoner C, who in turn can only see the wall. The fourth prisoner D stands on the other side of the wall and can see nothing of the other prisoners nor his own hat. They are not allowed to turn around or converse in any way. There are no mirrors, and they all know that there are two black hats and two white hats, and that there are four people. The prisoners are told that they have 5 minutes and to call out as soon as one of them thinks he knows for certain what color hat he is wearing. And remember, if just one of them gets the answer wrong, they will all have their sentences doubled. One of the prisoners says, "I know the color of my hat," and solves the riddle. Which prisoner is that? The placement of the prisoners in the room is as the following. Can you solve this riddle? Feel free to pause the video and give a try before checking the solution. Let me explain the solution now. Each one of the prisoners knows that there are four hats, two black and two white. If prisoner A observes that prisoner B and C have the same colored hats, he would assume that he has the opposite color and solve the riddle. However, since prisoner B and C have different colored hats, prisoner A doesn't say anything. After waiting about 4 minutes, prisoner B calls out the right answer. You can see that C is wearing a white hat. If B was wearing a white hat too, then A would have seen two white hats and would have known that his hat was black. As A didn't say anything, B knew that he and C must have different color hats on, and as C's hat is white, B knew that his hat must be black. Through this logical approach, prisoner B could able to answer the right hat color, and all four prisoners will be freed. You are a king of an empire. You have a servant working in your palace. He works all the 7 days and you only pay him in the form of gold bar. You must pay the worker for his work every day at the end of the day. If you are only able to make two breaks in the gold bar, how will you pay the servant if the servant works for the equal time every day and thus equal amount must be paid at the end of the day? If you are thinking of how to cut in such a way that you are able to make 7 equal pieces, you are thinking in the wrong direction. You should give more stress on how to make the transactions with the worker. So the trick is not to try and how to cut in such a way to make 7 equal pieces, but rather to make transactions with the worker. Make two cuts on the gold bar such that you have the following sizes of bars. Bar A should be 1/7 of the bar, bar B should be 2/7 of the bar, bar C should be 4/7 of the bar. Let's check whether it is going to work. When the day 1 ends, give bar A to the worker. Here you remain with bar B and bar C. Worker possess bar A. When the day 2 ends, give bar B to the worker and take the bar A back. Here you remain with bar A and bar C. Worker possess bar B. When the day 3 ends, give bar A to the worker. You remain with bar C. Worker possess bar A and bar B. When the day 4 ends, give bar C to the worker and take back bar A and bar B. Here you remain with bar A and bar B. Worker possess bar C. When the day 5 ends, give bar A to the worker. You remain with bar B. Worker possess bar A and bar C. When the day 6 ends, give bar B to the worker and take back bar A. Here you remain with bar A. Worker possess bar B and bar C. When the day 7 ends, give bar A to the worker. Here you remain with no bar. Worker possess bar A, bar B and bar C. Thus by the end of 7 days, you have taken care of everything. This is a clever logical interview puzzle. 99% of the people fails to answer this. If you are lucky, you can get the same question and you can answer in less than a minute. There is an escalator and two persons move down it. A takes 50 steps and B takes 75 steps while the escalator is moving down. Given that the time taken by A to take one step is equal to time taken by B to take 3 steps, find the number of steps in the escalator while it is stationary. Let me explain the solution now. Let us say that the escalator moves at the rate of n steps per second. Let us also say A takes 1 step per second and B takes 3 steps per second. Let's solve this problem case by case. So in the case 1, when A is coming down, A will take 50 seconds to complete 50 steps. In 50 seconds, escalator would have moved 50 n steps. Total number of steps on the escalator can be represented as 50 plus 50n. So in the case 2, when B is coming down, B will take 25 seconds to complete 75 steps in 25 seconds. Escalator would have moved 25 n steps. In this case, total number of steps on the escalator can be represented as 75 plus 25 n. So total number of steps on the stationary escalator is a constant. Combining case 1 and case 2, we can represent equation like this. 50 plus 50n equals 75 plus 25n. This is because number of steps are constant. After solving this equation, 25n equals 25, n equals 1. So total number of steps equals, consider the case 1. According to the case 1, the equation is 50 plus 50n. Now substitute the value of n, 50 plus 50, which is equal to 100. So the total number of steps is equal to 100. As shown in the image, there are 9 dogs within a fence. By constructing just 2 more square fences, can you make sure that each dog is in isolation? Let me repeat the puzzle. As shown in the image, there are 9 dogs within a fence. By constructing just 2 more square fences, can you make sure that each dog is in isolation? Feel free to pause the video and try yourself before checking the solution. Do subscribe to the channel for the newest videos watching. Let everyone know your answer in the comment section. Let's check the solution now. If you are struggling to get the answer, let me explain the solution now. It might seem tricky at first, but there is a very simple way of working out the real answer. To solve this riddle, one just needs to draw a diagonal square and a straight square inside it. First, let's draw diagonal square. Now, draw a straight square. As we can see now, by constructing just 2 square fences, each dog is in isolation. This is one of the most interesting riddle which requires out of the box thinking to achieve the correct answer. In the addition given here, all digits have been replaced by letters. Equal letters represents equal digits and different letters represent different digits. Can you find the digits which represents letters, and what does the complete addition looks like in digits? Let me explain the solution now. There are 3 most important points one must remember before beginning to solve these kind of math problems. Number 1. Since there are 4 numbers in each column, maximum sum possible using 4 digits is 36. That is by using 4 nines. And number 2, since the maximum number possible using 4 digits is 36, maximum remainder possible in each column is 3. Number 3, maximum sum possible in each column is 39, that is after adding remainder to the maximum sum 36. Now we have to apply these 3 most important rules to find the value of each letter. Also, we must make a decision on how to start, whether to start from the right or left columns. Let's observe the problem carefully and see the answer. According to the answer, there is a repeated number which suggests that it is a good thing to start from the left columns. Here in this problem, A is repeated. Possible digits for A is 0, 1, 2, 3. Why? It is because we know that maximum sum possible using 4 digits is 39, including remainder. So, A cannot be more than 4. We can eliminate 0 because 0 cannot be a digit to A. So now consider if A equals 1. If A equals 1, then A is 1, 1. In the last column, letter A is repeated thrice. Sum of 3 A's will yield 3, and to get the value 11, sum of B and remainder must be 8. Now possible combinations that satisfy the value of 8 is 0, 8, 1, 7, 2, 6, 3, 5, where first digit is remainder and second digit is the value of B. Only 2 digits that satisfy the given addition is 2, 6. You can try other possibilities, it is not definitely going to satisfy the condition. Thus, the value of A is 1 and the value of B is 6. Now we have the value of A and the value of B. Now the whole calculation gets simplified. Now use the value of A and B in the right columns. Consider the first column. Value of rightmost column after substituting the values of A and B is 1 plus 1 plus 6 plus 1, which is equal to 9. Hence, value of H is 9. Now consider the next column. After substituting the value of A and B in the second column, the expression becomes 6 plus 1 plus 6 plus 1 equals to 14. Thus, the value of D is 4 and 1 is the carry forward to the next column. For the next column, expression becomes 1 plus 1 plus C plus 1 plus 6 equals X6. Expression includes remainder and X will be the remainder for the next column. After solving, expression becomes 9 plus C equals X6. The only number which satisfies for C for this expression is 7 and X will be 1, and that is the carry forward for the next column. Now get into the next column. Now we have the value of A, we have the value of B and the value of C. Now apply the value of A, B, C for the next column. Now the expression becomes 1 plus 7 plus 4 plus E plus 4 equals Xg. There are multiple digits which satisfies for the value of E. Let's consider the least number which satisfies the expression. The least number would be 2. Sum will be 18. Thus value of G is 8 and the remainder will be 1. Now after substituting the value of B in the next column, the value of F will be 5. So the complete addition looks like this. This is hard math puzzle and requires a systematic approach to find the solution. If you follow these simple steps, whichever I have explained in this video, will definitely help you to solve these kind of problems in a minimum time. In a family, each daughter has the same number of brothers as she has sisters, and each son has twice as many sisters as he has brothers. How many sons are there in the family? This is an interesting math puzzle. Though looks difficult and confusing, a proper approach will enable to find the solution without any difficulties. I will give the hint to make your job simpler. Here is an hint. Convert each of the sentences into equations using variables. Transform one equation such that one variable is in terms of the other. Substitute one variable in the other equation, obtain the value of the variable and substitute for the other. Use this hint in order to solve this problem. Let me explain the solution in step by step. Let D represents the number of daughters and let S represents the number of sons. It is given in the question that each daughter has the same number of brothers as she has sisters. This can be represented in the form of an equation like this: D minus 1 equals S, and call this as equation 1. D minus 1 because D represents number of daughters, but as per the question, each daughter has the same number of brothers as she has sisters. So in simple words, the daughter cannot consider herself as one of the sisters, hence D minus 1. Also, it is given in the question that each son has twice as many sisters as he has brothers. This can be represented as 2 times S minus 1 equals D, and call this as equation 2. This is because the son cannot consider himself as one of the brothers, hence S minus 1. Equation 1 can be manipulated and written as D equals S plus 1. Now substitute D in equation 2. Equation 2 is 2 times S minus 1 equals D. After substituting the value of D, equation becomes 2 times S minus 1 equals S plus 1. After solving this equation, the equation becomes 2s minus 2 equals s plus 1 and s equals 3. Substitute s in equation 3 to get the value of d. So d equals s plus 1 D equals 3 plus 1. Finally, D equals 4. Now we have the value of D and S. D equals 4 and S equals 3. Thus, the number of sons in the family are 3. See, converting the sentences into equation is the crucial step in such problems. You can clearly see that this is a clear case of two equations and two variables after conversion. Upon solving, we obtain the values of both the variables. The key is to transform one of the equations such that we have one variable in terms of another. Then the other equation reduces into a single variable equation and becomes easier to solve. On finding the value of one variable, the other can be found simply by substituting. By following these simple steps, we can solve these kind of problems accurately and in less time. You are given 8 identical looking balls. One of them is heavier than the rest of the 7. All the others weigh exactly the same. You are provided with a simple mechanical balance and you are restricted to only 2 uses. Can you find the heavier ball? Let me repeat the puzzle. You are given 8 identical looking balls. One of them is heavier than the rest of the 7. All the others weigh exactly the same. You are provided with a simple mechanical balance and you are restricted to only 2 uses. Can you find the heavier ball by using only 2 uses of the mechanical balance? Let me explain the solution now. For convenience sake, let's name the balls 1 to 8. First, we weigh 1, 2, 3 on the left and 4, 5, 6 on the right. This is the first measurement. There are 3 scenarios which can arise from this. Let's consider the scenario 1. If the left side is heavier, then we know that one of 1, 2 or 3 is the heavier ball. Now in the second measurement, weigh 1 on the left and 2 on the right. We will know if 1 or 2 is heavier. If they balance out, then 3 is the heavier one. Thus, heavier ball is identified by exactly 2 measurements in this scenario. Let's consider the scenario 2. If the right side is heavier, then we know that either 4, 5 or 6 is the heavier ball. Now in the second measurement, weigh 4 on the left and 5 on the right. By doing this, we will know if 4 or 5 is heavier. If they balance out, then 6 is the heavier one. Thus, heavier ball is identified by exactly 2 measurements in the scenario 2. Let's consider the final scenario, that is scenario 3. If 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6 balance out, then we know either 7 or 8 is the heavier one. Weigh both of them to find out which one is heavier. Again here, heavier ball is identified by exactly 2 measurements. Let me summarize. The first step is determining which set of 3 balls contains the heavier one. So choose balls 1, 2, 3 and balls 4, 5, 6 and weigh them. If one set is heavier, save those 3 balls. Pick 2 balls and place for measurement. By doing this, we will know which one is heavier. If they balance out, then other is the heavier one. If neither side is heavier in the first step, proceed with balls 7 and 8. In the final weighing, weigh both of them to find out which one is heavier. By following these simple steps, we can find which ball is heavier in just 2 measurements.